Good evening. Thanks for having us in. Growing pressure today from state Senate Republicans for the president of the Hawaii Tourism Authority to resign.
This comes a week after the governor called on Rex Johnson to step down from his post for sending racist and sexist emails on his state computer. The HTA board scheduled a special meeting for Monday, September 29th, to decide whether to fire Johnson, who has already been disciplined for forwarding pornographic pictures and other material on his government computer. But last week it was revealed that he also forwarded a half-dozen emails with racist and sexist themes. Republican senators held a news conference to say it's time for Johnson to go.
The Democrats will try and say this is partisan, but I think the people of the state of Hawaii feel that it's time to put Rex behind us and it's time to go on.
Rex Johnson has worked for several Democratic state administrations. A spokeswoman for Johnson said he left this morning on a business trip to Japan and was not available for comment.
We got late word today. The Hawaii Tourism Authority has finally scheduled a special meeting to discuss the future of Rex Johnson. It's set for September 29th at 9:30 at the Convention Center. Meanwhile, 3 Republican senators joined the chorus today calling for the HTA president to resign. Senators Gordon Trimble, Sam Sloan, and Fred Hemmings say Johnson acted irresponsibly by sending racist, sexist, and pornographic emails using his work computer. Johnson left for Japan this morning to represent Hawaii as HTA's ambassador of aloha.
It is outrageous that he is going to Japan and leading a delegation of tourism officials. It is inappropriate that he's there, and I think that the Hawaii Tourist Authority Board of Directors, if they don't have a problem with this, should submit their letters of resignation as well.
The governor also wants Johnson fired, and today the head of the NAACP in Hawaii and several other organizations also called for Johnson's resignation. Well, more and more people seem to be asking for embattled Hawaii Tourism Authority CEO Rex Johnson to resign from his post. Now the Hawaii NAACP, or National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, held a press conference today. The group says emails Johnson said are offensive to all minority groups, not just African Americans.
I will acknowledge that he has personally apologized for his behavior. However, the gravity of what he has done is significant enough that he is no longer able to objectively and effectively administer the mission and objectives of the Hawaii Tourism Authority.
Bragg said, in fact, he spoke to Johnson twice about the email incident. Johnson told him he will do whatever the Tourism Authority board ultimately decides. And while Johnson's mostly Republican opponents continue to insist this is not a partisan issue, 3 Republican state senators say he should no longer be in charge of the state's most vital industry. But Johnson supporters continue to insist he is the right person for the job, especially now as tourism is facing a major slowdown. It comes at a time when tourism is down by as much as 20% from a year ago. Last month, Johnson admitted sending inappropriate X-rated content from his work email account.
His views and his actions are not my views. They do not represent those of the residents of Waikiki or the businesses that operate in Waikiki. It is time that we put this sad incident behind us.
At a time like this where the industry is having some real challenges, and I mean serious challenges that are going to affect not only people in the industry, but our entire community, I think it's time for us to get on with business. And as I say, I think Rex can and will provide good leadership for the HTA at a very critical time.
Senator Trimble says it's a pattern of behavior, not a simple inadvertent mistake. Towell says Johnson's history with HTA should not be ignored because of this one incident. The HTA board will meet on September 29th to talk about Johnson's employment agreement. Johnson is on a work trip in Japan and could not be reached for comment today.
Last week, Governor Lingle called for the tourism chief, Rex Johnson's resignation over inappropriate emails. Today, some activists and lawmakers echoed her concerns as the Tourism Authority set a date to discuss Johnson's future. That story when our news continues. The calls for tourism chief Rex Johnson to resign are growing louder. This morning, members of the Honolulu branches of the NAACP and the Japanese American Citizens League demanded Johnson's resignation for forwarding racist and sexist emails that were sent to him. A group of Republican lawmakers also called for his resignation, while the Tourism Authority points out others who are in support of Johnson's work as chief.
He was appointed to a public position of trust, and he has lost the confidence of the people to dutifully execute that position of trust.
The emails that were in question were the ones that would forward to him. He did not initiate those. So I'm not sure what the real big issue is other than the governor has called for his ouster.
It is time that we put this sad incident behind us. It is outrageous that he is going to Japan and leading a delegation of tourism officials.
The Hawaii Tourism Authority plans to address Johnson's future at a special board meeting on September 29th.
Tonight, more Hawaii politicians, along with the civil rights organization, are calling for the resignation of Hawaii Tourism Authority CEO Rex Johnson. The continued controversy comes at a time when Hawaii tourism is struggling, down by as much as 20% from a year ago. Last month, Johnson admitting to sending inappropriate adult-related material via his work email account.
His views and his actions are not my views. They do not represent those of the residents of Waikiki or the businesses that operate in Waikiki. It is time that we put this sad incident behind us.
At a time like this where the industry is having some real challenges, and I mean serious challenges that are going to affect not only people in the industry, but our entire community, I think it's time for us to get on with business. And as I say, I think Rex can and will provide good leadership for the HTA at a very critical time.
The HTA board is scheduled to meet on September the 29th to talk about Johnson's employment agreement. Johnson is on a work trip in Japan and could not be reached for comment.